Don't get it mistaken. Caitlin Clark is the true bully on the court. What she did today showed frustration against the Mystic, and she got out of character, and she shoved Van Loo. Real gangster stuff. But before we get off in today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, guys, it's time to expose these Caitlin Clark fanboys for this double standard that they be using. And it goes to show that all the little hoopla surrounded around Angel Reese about her style of play, all the off-court jabs that these Caitlin Clark fans are taking at Angel Reese, calling her out her name, calling her a thug on the basketball court, calling her using, elbow tactics to clear out, these players to grab rebounds. Did a show last night, had a guy on the show was talking about Angel Reese throwing elbows to get rebounds and things like that. Now, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, don't nobody want to talk about it because secretly, like I told you guys before, Caitlin Clark has dog in her too. She is a relentless competitor, and she does things on the court that people don't want to recognize. They only want to recognize her skill set and her talents, what she brings to the WNBA and what she brings to women's basketball. All they want to do is recognize the three-point shooting, the assists, the records that she's breaking, but nobody wants to point out the glaring obvious, that she is a menace on the court. She gets away with things that people say Angel Reese gets away with. For instance, today's game against the Mystic, they was trying to come back. What Caitlin Clark was doing to create separation on her shot is she's extending that. It's like the arm bar. She's extending it, pushing off to create separation. But nobody wants to talk about that. It's all fair game when it comes to Caitlin Clark. So I have some footage to show you guys what Caitlin Clark did today against Van Loo by pushing her off, creating separation to get off a three-point shot. Also, then we're going to turn the focus to her being a bully on the court. I'm not going to use the word thug. I'm going to use being a bully on the block. And that's what Caitlin Clark is becoming, a bully on the block. We've seen highlights and we've seen clips on YouTube of her Iowa days, how she shoves off her defenders, how she chirps at her defenders as she goes down court speaking. Guys, back in the days when the NBA was playing, when they had them videos that come out when they was mic'd up and you can hear everything that was going on, they put a video together and you could sit back and pop that in the as a VHS, put it in a video recorder and watch it on the VCR, and you watch all the footage and you listen to how they be jawing each other. They need to bring that back. They need to put that on the disc and bring that back and establish that for the WNBA, because there's a lot of double standards going around there about certain players, but they don't want to say that about Caitlin Clark. So I'm here to say that Caitlin Clark is a bully on the block. The things that she does in the game that go unnoticed, that people don't want to talk about because of her skill set and her talent. Watch the game within the game. Watch all the pushing and shoving she does. Watch and listen to all the chirping that she does. So today's contest against the Mystics, where they fell short, was a glaring telltale. So let me show you this clip of what Caitlin Clark did to separate herself to get a shot off. And then we're going to focus on her being a bully. Take a look at this clip.
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back. Hits a three.
That little separation. Watch Caitlin Clark get a little separation. I see when the hand extends from the body, that is usually
see how she
when they
pushed
call
off
an
the
offensive
defender?
foul.
Now you see how she pushed off the defender to create separation, but don't nobody want to talk about that. But they'll point out, Angel Reese, elbowing people to get rebounds and people giving Angel Reese rebounds to patent her stats. We got to stop that. So today, the Indiana Fever, they fell short to the Washington Mystics. And in that game, Caitlin Clark, she was mocking Van Loo. So the Indiana Fever had a frustrating first half against the Washington Mystics on Wednesday. Washington held a solid lead over the Fever in the first half. Indiana dealt with turnover issues throughout the WNBA clash. Fever's rookie guard Caitlin Clark had 6 points on 2 made three-pointers through the early portion of the game, but she also let her frustrations get the best of her at one point. After Mystics player Julia Van Loo was playing extremely tight defense against Clark, Clark decided to shove Van Loo out of frustration after a whistle was called. Now, I got video footage to show you guys on what took place in that incident where Caitlin Clark was visibly frustrated because Van Loo was playing exceptional, extremely tight defense on her, and this is how Caitlin Clark retaliated. Take a look. Now you see that, guys. Now she's the real bully on the block. But everybody wants to talk about Angel Reese. But Caitlin Clark is a bully on the block. She was visibly frustrated today in the loss to the Washington Mystics. And, we got to point these things out. We got to point these things out. So they went to video evidence. The referees came and they said there was no foul, technical or common, called for the shove as referees appeared to be distracted by something else going on other than the section of the court. Clark could also be seen mocking Van Loo's defense on a flop attempt during the brief pause in play. So that's the stuff that I'm talking about. It's a double standard going around, but don't nobody want to focus on the on-court antics of Caitlin Clark. They just want to focus and call Angel Reese out for her behavior. But hasn't nobody went to the internet or Twitter and has called Caitlin Clark out of her name? But I'm going to address some of these fanboys about this double, standard that's going on. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. So Caitlin Clark is the real bully on the court, and she's been doing this her whole career, but nobody wants to point that out. So it's time for certain people to be exposed about the double standard when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark had another historical game today. She dropped off 29 today. So Caitlin Clark, she played an exceptionally well game, but frustrations are getting the best of her. The frustrations are getting the best of Caitlin Clark at this time because today, man, she actually had one of her better games. And it's unfortunate it had to be, overshadowed by just a small incident of her being a bully on the court. So whatever you guys want to say about that, however you guys want to feel about Caitlin Clark being a bully, and let me know. Let's talk about it. Because a lot of people will say that, Angel Reese is doing bully tactics. But the Washington Mystics, they held on to win 89-84. That drops the Indiana Fever to 9-14. And on top of that, the Chicago Sky got a much-needed victory against the Atlanta Dream today. Angel Reese continued her double-double streak with 11-14. So, it is what it is, man. Caitlin Clark played exceptionally well today, man. She was on fire. She had 29 points, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds. So we tip our cap to Caitlin Clark, but guys, she's a bully on the block. So guys, let me know what y'all think down in the comments section. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces. And remember, on your way out the door, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.